Last time out in the BRC Juniors, we saw a distinctly Irish-flavoured podium on the Cambrian Rally in Wales. And for round two, the crews head over the water to Ireland for the Clonakilty Park Hotel West Cork Rally. So you will be brave to bet against a similar result this weekend. Winner of round one, James Wilson leads the junior field away, with second place Will Crichton behind. James Williams makes the switch back to the trusty Vauxhall Adam for this weekend. 15 stages lie in wait in the Irish lanes for the crews in total, and it all starts with the infamous ring stage. Here we go with action from the first of the stages then, and it would be the lead for Marty Gallagher and Dean O'Sullivan. They have a bit of a close call in the first stage of the rally, but thankfully nothing more than just a scare. For Josh McErlin and Keaton Williams, it would be second. They were suffering with steamy windows, but apart from that, they were having a good, solid start to the event. Everything was going to plan meanwhile for Jordan Hone and Eileen Kelly. They have a good feeling in the car, rounding out our podium places. In fact, their pace good enough to be catching cars in the stages. A spin on the opening stage of the day would be holding James Williams and Tom Woodburn back a little. They'd made it up for the next few stages though, back out in the Adam this weekend and going well in fourth. There were problems early on though for our round one winners, James Wilson and Arthur Kierans. They suffer a misfire on the car, and to top it off, the pair would make a big mistake in stage 3, damaging the car. They end the morning with 5th place. Will Crichton and Liam Regan were finding the morning stages tricky. Standing water in places would be waiting to catch our competitors out. They do make a mistake in the third stage of the day as well, overshooting a corner and almost going up a driveway. Clearly not the only ones to have done that either. Thankfully though, with no damage other than to the tyres and perhaps to the confidence.
Slight left, 140.
There was a good feeling in the car though for Rory Bell and Darren Garrett. They weren't pushing too much in these tricky conditions. It was a long rally and there were still plenty of miles to go. Plenty more time for a push when the stages started to dry. A similar story as well for Finlay Retson and Richard Crozier. They were still getting used to the car. Things still going to plan as well. 8th place at this stage in the rally. The opening stages would all be about settling in for Bart Lang and Sinclair Young, but that would give way to a big push, seeing the stage times coming down a fair bit. They end the morning with 9th place on the junior leaderboard. And rounding out our top 10 leaderboard at this stage were Nabia Tejpar and Max Freeman. They were happy with how things were going so far. After the disappointment of the opening round, they'd be looking to make sure that they made the finish and got some points on the board for their campaign. Sad to report though that there was more bad luck for Jordan Reynolds and Perida Davies through the morning stages. They'd spin the car between the banks on the 4th stage of the day, taking some time to get themselves out of that position and back pointing the right way up the stage. They'd have to pull over later in the stage to check the damage and limp that car to the end.
They go on stick right.
So we're 4 stages down, plenty of drama already. It's Gallagher at the top, 13.7 seconds of an advantage over the opening stages of the rally. Let's take a look at action from the afternoon stages then, and another pair of stages each run twice, this time with a short spectator stage in Clonakilty to finish the day. There'd be drama as well, major change at the top of our leaderboard. We lose our early leaders Marty Gallagher and Dean O'Sullivan. They crash out on stage 6. But of course, one man's misfortune is another's gain, as we see all the time in rallying, and we see Jordan Hone and Eileen Kelly stepping up now to take the lead going into day 2. That would, of course, mean that they'd overtaken Josh McCurlin and Keaton Williams on their stage times. This pair now sitting in second place, the fight still well and truly on. Something still didn't quite feel right with the car for James Williams and Tom Woodburn. They'd have to manage with that though until the end of the day, seeing what they could find in service. A bit fruitless as well, third place for now. Will Crichton and Liam Regan wouldn't be taking any risks out there in the lanes. There was still too much of the rally left to go. The stages were drying, but the mud was still being pulled out onto the corners, making things treacherous. They reached the end of the day with fourth on the leaderboard. Some rough repairs to the car would see James Wilson and Arthur Kieran's continuing to fight. Now in fifth place. It's all about the tie wraps. Happy enough with how things were going now though. Rory Bell and Darren Garrett had made a few setup changes and were seeing the benefit of it in the later stages. They were still cautious of those slippery lanes, but going well in sixth. Meanwhile, things were a bit more enjoyable for Finlay Retson and Richard Crozier now that the stages were drying out. They still had to be careful, but at least a dry line was developing so that they could pick up the pace ahead of day two.
130, Kerr, 6 right, half long, tightens to 4 right over crest.
After that big push early on, Bart Lang and Sinclair Young didn't think that there was much left to give through these stages. Trying hard though, and feeling that they were doing all that they could, they end the day with 8th place on the junior BRC leaderboard. Jordan Reynolds and Perida Davies out of the fight now after their problems earlier. They keep things going though, moving their way up the leaderboard to 9th at this stage in the round.
5 right over junction and 6 left long into 5 right.
And continuing to round out our top 10 were Nabia Tejpar and Max Freeman. Happy that their stage times were improving as well as the rally went on. It's all about the experience. So day one of the competition here in Ireland complete. We get a shake-up of the leaderboard, and it really was anyone's rally to win on day two. On to day two of the West Cork Rally then, 3 stages in the loop, each run twice. And we can take a look at how this final day of the rally panned out. Early attrition on day two for Jordan Reynolds and Perida Davies. The car stopping mid-stage with electrical issues, unable to continue.
Someone's dead. What? Car's dead?
Yeah. Stop. Kill it.
Yeah.
And on to our finishers. It will be an 8th place finish this weekend for Nabila Tejpar and Max Freeman. They'd be glad to get to that finish ramp and add some points onto the board after their non-finish at the opening round in Wales. For Bart Lang and Sinclair Young, it had been a mixed event. It would be 7th at the end of the day. Nice and clean for the pair that enjoyed their weekend on the Irish lanes. There was more bad luck in store for Finlay Retson and Richard Crozier though. They get this corner all wrong, ending up with the car climbing the bank. They were beached, and it would take a few minutes to get the car back on the road and underway again. They end the rally at least with a 6th place finish in the BRC Juniors as well.
Okay, take time, don't you? Just bed yourself in. Okay.
Rory Bell and reigning BRC overall champion co-driver Darren Garrett were enjoying the better grip that day two was offering. The pace was good. They end this weekend 5th. That misfire from day one would have been sorted now for James Wilson and Arthur Kieran's. The feeling in the car was good again. They were able to start putting in some faster times as we've come to expect. They end the rally 4th. There would be though more of a shake-up on our leaderboard as we lose overnight leaders Jordan Hone and Eileen Kelly after that heroic early battle. They stop in stage. This would of course mean some changes in our podium positions, and it would be a 3rd place finish for Will Crichton and Liam Regan. A great result for the pair to add to their strong finish on the opening round of the series. That change back to the old car for James Williams and Tom Woodburn turned out to be pretty inspired. They get to the end of the rally with 2nd place. A wrong tyre choice along the way meant that they went off a little, but thankfully nothing that affected those times and the overall leaderboard. So that reshuffle means it's victory for Josh McCurlin and Keaton Williams. They kept the pressure on, taking their first BRC junior win and bagging a prize fund of £2,500 from Peugeot and Total in the process. Here is confirmation then of the final results here at the end of the Clonakilty Park Hotel West Cork Rally. That victory this weekend, making it a close battle after 2 rounds this season. Josh McCurlin now equal at the top of the leaderboard with James Wilson on 37 points.
Well, Josh, the monkey is finally off the back. First junior BRC win. How are you feeling?
Yeah, over the moon. It's finally came. It's took a while now, but from the Ulster last year, it was down a bit. But yeah, we come back and we've finally won, so we're happy.
Good points for the championship as well.
Yeah, we're looking nice in the championship now, but I have to thank everyone, all these lads here, and yeah, all the sponsors, especially Woodland and it's all came together finally.
I mean, the junior BRC battle is just incredible. I mean, obviously, great fights with Jordan and Marty. I mean, this championship really is going to be exciting all year, isn't it?
Yeah, it's definitely, the pace is very hot. Takes little errors and you see it happened. But yeah, we're looking forward to the rest of the season now.
James, many congratulations. Another junior BRC podium. Great to be back in the Adam. How was your weekend?
It's been a really tough rally. First day was a bit hit and miss. We didn't know quite where we'd put the setup and stuff because we haven't had a test, but yeah, we got on with it really well, did our own thing. We had a spin on stage 1 and kept plodding from there. Picked them off one by one and we've ended up second, so really happy with the result.
What's the Irish tarmac down here like to drive on?
It's something else. I've had a massive smile on my face today. These last 2 stages have been absolutely fantastic. So yeah, and this guy, he's done a great job too, so, and my team. I just have to say a massive thanks to them.
We'll speak to this guy, Tom Woodburn, on the notes.
I paid him to say that.
Oh, of course, hopefully a great deal as well. Tom, how was your weekend from your point of view?
It's been hard work. To be honest, I usually think the drivers have it easy on most events, but today and yesterday looked tricky, to be fair. So, I mean, hats off to James. I do the easy bit. I mean, how often do you sit on a weekend just reading the paper? That's all I've done. So, no, it's been very tricky, but a good sense of achievement to be here second, so happy with it.
Third overall, another good haul of points.
Yeah, for sure. It was tricky towards the end, and just seeing home he went off. So yeah, we just had to keep it on the road, and a bit of a slow start to the rally. So delighted to get away with 3rd points.
What is it like? Obviously, we've spoken to many different drivers. What is it like to drive one of these R2 cars on Irish tarmac?
Yeah, once you get a hang of it and get onto the car, they're great, and the stages out there the whole weekend have been so fast. So yeah, no, the cars have been good, and these R2 cars have set some serious times against other guys.
And this championship is just so unpredictable with so many great drivers. Coming to the Pirelli, what are you hoping for?
Yeah, there's any one of us could win at the Pirelli, I'm sure. So I don't know who you'd put your money on, but yeah, no, it's good to see, and a lot of different guys fighting for the win. So it makes it very competitive and brings everybody on. And yeah, the pace this weekend has been crazy.
Next up, our crews head back over the water for the fast stages of Killer Kielder on the Pirelli International Rally. That title fight is close as ever going into round 3 of the British Rally Championship.